Hello mga ka-learners! Welcome back again sa ating YouTube channel, Teacher Ako. So this video, we will be talking about comparative research design. So kung ready na kayo, let's start. So bago natin umpisahan ang ating discussion about comparative research design, syempre, promote muna natin ang ating YouTube channel. So subscribe na kayo sa ating YouTube channel na Teacher Ako, where in this YouTube channel, you will be able to upgrade your research and language skills. So kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, subscribe ka na at pwede mong i-share ang mga tutorials natin dito sa ating channel. So this time around, sa ating video na ito, ang pag-uusapan natin ay comparative research design. Ano ba ang comparative research design? Ito na yon. So ang comparative research design, also known as comparative research or comparative analysis, is a research methodology that involves comparing two or more groups, cases, or variables to identify similarities, differences, and relationships between them. So this kind of design or research design is commonly used to explore patterns. Ayan, tinitignan din natin yung causes o kaya yung effects across different settings. Ayan, different settings. Pwedeng yung lugar, ayan, populations, ayan, or time periods. Yun yung period of time na kinandak ang ating research. Yan ang mga factors na kinoconsider natin kapag kinoconduct natin ang comparative design. So, uulitin ko, ang comparative research design ay tinatawag din siyang comparative research or comparative analysis. Ano ba yung mga key characteristics ng ating comparative research design? So, eto yung mga yon. So, una, we have the multiple groups or cases. So, for multiple groups or cases, comparative design typically involves comparing two or more groups or cases. So, these groups may differ based on certain variables. For example, yung demographic profiles nila, o kaya yung geographic locations or treatment conditions. Yun yung mga pagkakaiba nila. Uh, Pwedeng ulitin ko, demographic profile or demographics, geographic locations, or treatment conditions. Yun yung unang characteristic ng ating comparative research design. Yung pangalawa naman ay focus on differences and similarities. Siyempre, comparative nga to, differences and similarities ng mga variables. For example, the primary goal of comparative research is to understand the differences and similarities between the groups or cases being studied. So, this can help in identifying patterns, ayan, causal relationships, yan yung cause and effect, o kaya yung impact of certain variables, yung impact ng particular variable natin. For example, yung independent sa dependent variable natin. Next, yung pangatlo naman na characteristic ng ating comparative research design ay use of control groups. So in some comparative studies, one or more control groups are used to provide a baseline for comparison. This helps in isolating the effects of the independent variable being studied. So meron tayong mga control groups dito. Next, cross-national or cross-cultural comparisons. Ano ba ito? So sa comparative research design, this is often used in cross-sectional or cross-national or cross-cultural research where the goal is to compare phenomena across different countries. Yan, pwede yan. O kaya sa or different cultural contexts, different cultural situations. Yan. Ginagamit din dyan ang ating comparative research design. When you want to compare phenomena across different countries, a certain situation, when we say phenomena kasi something na situation na nangyayari at this moment of time, na nangyayari sa isang bansa at saka sa ibang mga bansa. Yung parehas yung phenomena na yan na nangyayari. Gusto mong i-compare kung ano yung impact ng phenomena na yon sa different countries na yon. O kaya sa different situations natin, pwedeng sa lugar lang natin, pwedeng ganun, different situations or different contexts. Pwede yon as long as there is comparison. Next, quantitative or qualitative approaches. So for comparative research design, we can employ both quantitative and qualitative methods. Pwede tayong mag-quanti or quali. Quantitative approaches might involve statistical comparisons. Yan, sa ating quantitative. While qualitative approaches naman might involve in-depth case studies or thematic analysis. Yan. Sa qualitative, yan, i-mention din dyan sa future videos natin pag gumawa na tayo ng qualitative approaches kung ano ba talaga yung in-depth case studies or thematic analysis. Ayan, i-mention natin yan in the future. Next, another characteristic ng ating comparative design ay yung exploratory or explanatory. So in comparative research, in this kind of research, we can do exploratory, aiming to generate new insights, or explanatory, seeking to explain why certain differences or similarities exist. So pwede tayo mag-explore and at the same time, explanatory. Seeking to explain why yung mga certain differences na yan or certain similarities na yan nag-exist. Ayan. Depende yan kung anong variable ang gusto nating i-prove. So, yan yung mga key characteristics ng ating comparative design. Ulitin ko, multiple groups or cases, focus on differences and similarities, use of control groups, cross-national or cross-cultural comparisons, quantitative or qualitative approaches, and lastly, exploratory or explanatory. Yeah. Moving forward, we also have the different types of comparative design. So ano yung mga types ng ating comparative design? We have cross-sectional comparative design. Ito yung una. Ano ba tong cross-sectional comparative design na to? So this involves comparing different groups at a single point in time. So magbibigay tayo ng halimbawa. Halimbawa, you are comparing the academic performance of students from different schools in a particular year. For example, ngayong year na to, you would like to compare the academic performance of students from different schools. Ayan. So that is cross-sectional comparative design. Ulitin ko, comparing different groups at a single point in time. Ganon ang ating cross-sectional comparative design. Ano naman yung pangalawa? Uri. Ang pangalawang type niya ay ang longitudinal comparative design. Ang longitudinal naman ay itong design na to, it compares the same groups or variables over time to observe changes or trends. Ayan. For example, diba? Ito, comparing the economic growth of two countries over a decade. Tignan nyo, decade. Over a decade. Pag sinabing decade, at least 10 years yan. So, kaya sa tinatawag na longitudinal comparative design, yung term natin doon is comparing the economic growth of two countries over a decade. Ayan. So, compare natin yan. Titignan natin, mag-observe tayo dyan. Titignan natin yung mga observable changes or trends na pwedeng mangyari for that particular period of time. Yung over 10 years yan. Yun. Kasi ano siya longitudinal. Pangatlo, case-oriented comparative design. Ano ba tong case-oriented comparative design na to? So this one focuses on a detailed comparison of a small number of cases, often to explore complex phenomena. So this approach is common in qualitative research. Usually, nangyayari to or visible ito kung ang type of research na ginagawa natin ay qualitative. And lastly, last type ng ating comparative research design ay yung variable-oriented comparative design. Ano to? This one involves comparing a large number of cases with a focus on identifying patterns or relationships between variables. So this approach is common in quantitative research. Ayan. Kung yung pangatlo kanina ay common siya sa qualitative, itong pang-apat naman na uri na ito ay focus siya sa quantitative research because it involves a large number of cases. So, uulitin ko, ito yung 4 types ng comparative research design natin. Cross-sectional comparative design. Pangalawa, longitudinal comparative design. Pangatlo, case-oriented comparative design. At ang pangapat, variable-oriented comparative design. Next. Saan naman natin ginagamit ang comparative research design? Usually, ginagamit natin ito sa mga sumusunod. Una, sa education. So, for example, sa education, magbibigay tayo ng halimbawa. You would like to compare the effectiveness of 2 different teaching methods on student performance. Yan, sa classroom setup. For example, you want to compare kung gaano ka-effective yung dalawang magkaibang teaching method na to. Yan, sa pagkatuto ng mga bata, sa performance ng mga bata or performance ng mga students. Yun, gusto mong makita yung similarities and differences ng dalawang teaching method na yun. Pwede siya sa education. Okay? Pangalawa, pwede rin siya sa sociology. For example, gusto mo ay you want to compare social mobility across different social classes or countries. So, pwede siya sa sociology. Pangatlo naman, public health. For example, you want to focus on comparing the prevalence of a disease in urban versus rural areas. Yan, yung particular disease, gusto mong i-compare kung paano yung approaches or paano yung effect or cost niya sa mga urban areas at saka sa mga rural areas. For example, nag-cite ka ng dengue. For example, paano yung effect at saka similarities niya sa mga urban and rural areas natin. Kasi yung dengue na yan, pwede naman yung mangyari sa mga rural at saka urban areas. Then you want to see the effects on that one in those 2 different areas. You want to have comparison on it. Pwede siya. Public health naman yun. Pang-apat, economics. Yan, pwede ang comparative research dyan. For example, you want to compare the economic policies of 2 countries and their impact on economic growth. Yan. So, pwede siya sa economics. You're comparing economic policies and at the same time, their impact on economic development or growth. Ayan. So, these are the 4 possible situations or possible areas where we can apply comparative research. Education, sociology, public health, and even in economics. Next, what are now the advantages of comparative research design? So kapag ginagawa natin ito, ano ba yung mga advantages niya? Una, rich insights. So by comparing different groups of cases, a particular researcher can gain a deeper understanding of the factors that influence outcomes. Kasi nga, you are comparing different groups or cases. You will be getting the similarities and at the same time, the differences. So, it can enrich your insights as a researcher. Pangalawa, broad applicability. So, comparative research design can be applied across various disciplines. As I've mentioned a while back, pwede siya sa sociology, sa education, sa economics, and even sa public health. Pwede siya. So, broad applicability, pwede mo siyang i-apply sa different areas na yung minention ko. At yung pangatlo, flexibility. So, this design can accommodate both qualitative and quantitative approaches, making it versatile for different research needs. So, depende yan sa approach na gagamitin ng researcher. Kung gagamitin niya yung comparative for qualitative or gagamitin niya yung comparative for quantitative. Yan. So, those are the advantages of comparative design. Rich insights, broad applicability, and flexibility. So, kung meron tayong advantages, meron din tayong mga limitations for comparative design. Una, contextual differences. So, differences between the groups or cases being compared may be influenced by contextual factors, making it challenging to draw clear conclusions. Ayan. Pangalawa, difficulty in controlling variables. In non-experimental comparative research, it can be difficult to control for all relevant variables, potentially leading to confounding effects. Ayan. At yung pangatlo naman, complex analysis. The analysis of comparative data can be complex, particularly when dealing with large data sets or multiple variables. Siyempre, kapag medyo dumadami na yan, dumadami na yung mga variables natin uh, when you do the analysis of comparative data, medyo challenging na yon on the part of the researcher. Okay. Pero kung ginusto naman ng yan ng ating researcher, masusolusyonan naman yan. Kung gugustuhin naman yan, maresolba ng ating researcher. So, ito yung tatlong medyo limitations ng ating comparative design. Contextual differences, difficulty in controlling variables, and lastly, complex analysis. So, ito yung lagi nating tatandaan mga ka-learners when we do comparative design. So, as I've mentioned before, comparative design is a powerful tool for researchers looking to understand how different variables or contexts influence outcomes. So, by systematically comparing groups or cases, kasi dito nagko-compare tayo ng groups or cases, it allows for a deeper exploration of relationships and even patterns that may not be evident through other research methods. So ito naman talaga yung pinaka-strength ng ating comparative research design. Kasi we are exploring Nag-explore na tayo dito to get the relationship and even patterns na sa ibang mga research methods ay hindi natin makikita yon. Okay? So, andito na tayo sa exciting part. Ano naman ngayon ang mga example research titles natin na pwedeng gamitin sa comparative design? So, kung ready na kayo, eto na sila. Una, a comparative study of public and private school performance in mathematics. Pangalawa, comparing health outcomes in urban and rural populations, a cross-sectional analysis. Next, the impact of social media usage on academic achievement, a comparative study of high school students. Yan, pwedeng maging research title yan. Next naman, a comparative study of academic performance between students in online learning and traditional classroom setting. Yan, meron kang kino-compare na online learning at saka traditional classroom setting. Ito pa yung mga samples natin na research title for comparative design. Comparing the effectiveness of project-based learning and lecture-based learning on senior high school students' science achievement. Yun, pwede rin yun gawin nating research title. Ito pa, a comparative analysis of study habits among STEM and ABM senior high school students. Next, the impact of extracurricular participation on academic achievement, a comparative study between athletes and non-athletes. Ayan. Next, a comparative analysis of career aspirations between male and female senior high school students in the STEM strand. Next, pwede rin tong mga titles natin para naman sa mga TVL kung gusto nila to. Comparing the job preparedness of senior high school students in the TVL strand, technical skills versus soft skills. Another, a comparative study of career path choices between TVL students and academic strand students. Next, comparing the attitudes toward technology using in learning among senior high school students across different strands. So lahat ng strands in-involve mo na dun. Next, a comparative study of leadership skills development in students involved in student government versus those in other clubs. Ayan. So, yun yung mga research titles na pwede nating i-conduct or pwede nating gawin sa ating schools, lalong-lalo na kung kayo ay mga senior high school students. So kung napansin nyo, yung mga titles natin ay nag-focus sa high school. So pwede nyo naman i-modify yung mga title na binanggit ko kung nasa college na kayo ngayon. Pwede nyo gawing mga patterns iyon. So again, natapos na naman ang tutorial natin ngayon about comparative research design. So hopefully may natutunan kayo. Ngayon kung meron kayong mga request na videos or tutorials na gusto na nyong gawin natin in the future, i-leave nyo lang sa comment section. Maglagay kayo doon ng mga gusto ninyo. Kung meron kayong comments and suggestions, pwede nyo ring ilagay doon. At I will do the best that I can to address your concern. Okay? So again, Thank you very much for staying with me and listening to our tutorial for this video. God bless you. Bye!